novels, Some Girls Do, and Dirtbags. After an assortment of jobs, including driving an ice cream truck and as a monster in the haunted house of an amusement park, she published her second novel, Dirtbags. That's from Anvil Press, and we're going to find it at the back table there. During the past few years, Teresa has toured Europe and North America with punk rock bands, gathering material for her recently completed third novel, 5 Little Bitches. She lives on Vancouver's east side. Please welcome Teresa McWhirter.
I can't believe the girl in the crush has to follow that. Actually, can you be my ready? Can you check for absolutely?
Is that great?
Yeah, let's get okay. So the Olympics. In all honesty, I'm more concerned that I drink too much red wine and have Emily Carr milk right now. So yes, I'm reading prose tonight, and it's a bit difficult to pull 6 pages out of 300 and have it make sense. So if there are huge gaps in logic, please bear with me. This chapter I'm going to read is about one little bitch on 5, and it's called Good Kitty Gone Bad. Kitty Domingo doesn't like to be alone. Her earliest memories are of the commune, surrounded by broken people who dropped out of the world, women who shaved their heads and changed their names to things like Starlight and Aurora Celeste. Artists impress Kitty. She thinks it takes guts to write. It takes guts to spend your day alone in a studio, sculpting a hunk of clay, or to practice an instrument for hours. She feels a kinship with cripples, especially musicians. Kitty Domingo has seen the worst of many things, which is why she ends up with Myron Bellabo. Myron became fat after beating a decade-long crystal meth addiction. Now his only pleasure comes from walking his 2 pit bulls or having the occasional crab food in the bathtub. He plays drums, guitar, and saxophone and is the replacement singer for a resurrected punk band whose lead singer overdosed years earlier. Myron is always out trying to flog his band. Through what means Kitty doesn't know, he keeps his filthy blonde hair in stupid-looking spikes, and his 2 pit bulls live in his car, so he always smells faintly of dog shit. One night at punk rock karaoke, Kitty is stealing drinks and escalating warfare. Myron is one of the few people able to handle her combatant state. When the bar closes, he lures her to his place with a bottle of gin. Myron has a tiny dick. She lets him put it in her ass because she knows it won't hurt. In the morning, Kitty wakes up and barfs from her hangover. Then she lies on Myron's couch and watches rock videos. Kitty has no feelings for Myron and steals his cigarettes when he leaves the room. He asks if he can see her again. Kitty says no, offended. She has a boyfriend after all. Then, many pages of witty dialogue and dramatic tension, we find out that Kitty is pregnant. It could be Myron Bellabo, it could be her boyfriend Jasper Sparks. We don't know. But she is going to get really fucked up and try to forget about it. Why are you laughing, sir? A cab drops them off near the dingy bar. 2 young men smoke out front. The smell of stale beer wafts into the street. Hey ladies, one says. He has a skinny mustache and his pimpled friend wears a tracksuit. Come in and have a drink. He catches Squeaky's eye and she looks away. Oh, Squeaky is her best friend, and that's a whole other chapter. Squeaky looks away. Bitch, he mutters. Fuck off, you little puke, Kitty snarls. People rudely push past. Kitty is cynical on the street, but when bumps talk to her, she's always a little bit sweet. A man in a doorway yells, I like my women like my toast, with a crusty bottom. His toothless partner cackles. In the bar, Squeaky buys a shot of Frangelico for Kitty, trying to expand her tastes. Kitty downs it and gags, that shit tastes like monkey jizz. Give me some more of those mud drugs. Kitty Domingo is a hit with the boys all night. Find me some tequila, she asks them. It brings out her fiendish side. She drops a lit cigarette into someone's hoodie and watches it smoke across the room. Boys love girls like her on the downward spiral. There's no other ride quite like it. I want to see Jasper, Kitty demands with drunken rancor. Let's go meet him. This party is over except for the hippies dancing. Squeaky tries to talk her out of it. Kitty insists she'll go alone. A boy hits on her as she stands outside smoking. "You want me?" she screams. "I'm blind. I'm not even fucking here." The next day's hangover is a bad one. Kitty opens her eyes and pieces of the previous night drift in on painful shame clouds. Lurching through the crowd at a crazy angle before wiping out the bouncer. Throwing wine on someone's shirt at a party. Telling the cab driver he smelled like dog shit. Smashing a bottle in Jasper's kitchen, later crying to someone on the phone. Kitty wakes up a few hours later, still drunk, cuts her foot on the broken glass, and pukes while sitting in the bathtub. Who hasn't done that? She wonders who's mad at her and what she said to Jasper. He isn't around and she goes back to bed groaning. A few hours later, she gets up again. Jasper sits on a chair in the kitchen. He has his hoodie pulls up and glares as she limps to the bathroom. Kitty shuts the door and sits on the toilet wearily. Her face is yellowish gray, eyes albino pink. You know, I just wrote that I was going to go with hamster pink, but I'm not really sure. Okay, awesome. She tries to comb her hair and gives up. Finally, she goes into the kitchen. "You were a real crotch last night," Jasper says. "I'm sorry," Kitty says. "It's the hard liquor. You always say that. It was shots of tequila and cramps." "Well, next time I'm going to be with the nice girls who drink beer." Across the table, Jasper folds his arms. It amuses her. Until this point, he worshipped her. Kitty stares back, sizing him up. He will forgive and love her again, she is sure. Just then her belly rumbles and a belch erupts. It's loud and she can taste it. Jasper looks at her with revulsion, like he's never really seen her before. Kitty has a sinking feeling she just lost the war. Yeah.